I will admit I'm a bit of a motorcycle battery nerd. My longest running one right now is over 8 years. I'm going to tell you about 7 things that will affect your motorcycle battery life. There are 3 or 4 things that are totally within your control, and there are 3 things that aren't, so you're going to want to know them so that the next time you buy a battery, you're making a good informed decision, and you'll get a battery that can last you almost a decade. By the way, I'm Adrian from YouMotorcycle. I make videos for people who want to learn about motorcycling. I have been stranded on the side of the road because of a dead battery, and it absolutely sucks. Then you have to pay for a tow truck, and that gets expensive. This should help you out. Now, we're going to start with a brand new lead acid battery. So you have your acid packs, you have your battery, and you're going to put that acid in there, and what you're going to hear is this bubbling of the acid. And some people will just seal that battery right away, and that is the worst thing you could do. You want to let all of that bubbles get out. People will just only charge it part way, or they won't charge it the right way. We'll talk about proper charging a little bit later in this video, but what I'm getting at is if you don't let all of the bubbles get out before you seal the battery, and if you don't charge up the battery the way it asks to be charged up, you are from the very first day, your very first hour with your motorcycle battery, you are already limiting its longevity potential, and you are limiting how much power and how it will perform throughout its life. Do things right. I have a video, actually, I will link to it at the end of this video, and that will show you step by step, it's only like 4 steps, how to easily, properly set up your battery for the best possible life and performance. Next up, and something that is totally within your control, is how you use your motorcycle, because that is definitely going to affect your battery's longevity. Did you know that shorter rides or rides through like commuter 9 to 5, bumper to bumper, city gridlock traffic are actually going to cut down the potential lifespan of your battery? They will. And I'm not saying you should only ride long distances really fast. You should just understand how that's going to affect the different components of the bike. And I think to illustrate this example, I'm going to show you my Kawasaki Z900 RS that I just bought. Here it is. To get the starter motor on my Z900 to fire up, the battery needs to give power or borrow power to the motorcycle. Bike fires up, right? So now it's idling. So when you rev it up, right? Now the power goes, boom, back into the battery. That's a good thing. We need to have this positive back and forth relationship or things are not going to work out. So when you're doing your just, little trip to the store, little trip to get some flowers, little trip to drop them off your girlfriend's, little trip back home, and you're only done 5 miles, but you've hit your starter like 4, 5, 6 times.
Hey there. I got a package for pickup.
You've taken a lot out of the battery, but you haven't necessarily given much back. Similarly, if you are just in stop and go traffic where you're just like, yep, driving, okay, now light's red, yep, driving, okay, now this car's making a left turn, I'm stuck here, okay, now driving, oh, I missed the next light. You're not really going for that real motorcycle ride that's really gonna put power back into the battery. And over time, as you're doing all of this taking away from the battery and not giving back to it in the most healthiest way, that's gonna decrease how long it will last. Basically, there needs to be a give and take between the two, and you need to make sure that you're giving back to the battery and not just taking from it. Now here's something not within your control, and that is the quality of the chemicals and materials that are used inside of your motorcycle's battery. And that is why I always use Yuasa batteries. This is not sponsored, I'm not affiliated, I don't care if you buy their batteries or not. When I started working in the motorcycle industry, all of the older techs all said, just go with Yuasa if you plan on actually keeping the bike. From personal experience, one of my Yuasa batteries is just over 8 years old now. If you did want to go lithium, I have not tested and reviewed it yet, so I'm not recommending this brand just yet. Hit subscribe if you want to see me review some lithium batteries. I got 2 to review this summer. I would actually recommend right now, until I test this, I would recommend anti-gravity. I've been super impressed. They have actually surprised me with what those things can endure. And I like companies like Yuasa and anti-gravity because they are known for putting quality chemicals and quality materials in their manufacturing. They're known for having a high standard of both manufacturing and quality control. And you can reach them. You can find the people who work there. You can go to their office. You can talk to their reps. Something goes wrong, you can get somebody. There are a lot of companies on Amazon, on eBay, companies that I've never seen in stores. You try and look up if they even have employees on LinkedIn, you can't find anybody. You try and look up a phone number, you can't find a phone number. You try and look up an office, you can't find an office. If they want to be so unreachable, what makes you think that they're actually spending the money to get good quality components and chemicals and manufacturing and standards? And this will definitely upset somebody in the comments section, I'm sure of it, but I'm a firm believer that when it comes to motorcycle batteries, you do get what you pay for. And find me a cheap battery that lasts 8 years like my Yuasa currently is, and then we'll talk. Now here's something that is totally within your control. It's how the motorcycle battery is stored. Specifically, if it's a lead acid battery, they really don't like being stored in extreme temperatures, either extreme cold or even extreme hot. Both can lead to premature degradation of the battery itself, which you really don't want. We will talk battery maintenance because really motorcycle battery neglect is the #1 reason why people need to replace their batteries. That's super important. I'll get to it in just a second. First, I just want to give you a little anecdote about my own US I keep talking about. It's probably over 8 years old now, and it was given to me by a ex-girlfriend who told me I was the love of her life. Then we broke up. Then she met another guy. Then she told him he was the love of her life. Then they broke up. Then she met another guy. She told him they were the love of her life. He proposed. She said yes. They got engaged. They got married. They had a kid. And now her and her kid are that guy's problem. And me, I have no problem starting my bike. I hit the starter. My 8-year-old US battery fires the bike up every single time right away. I don't really know what the moral of the story is, but just take care of your battery and it'll last you a really long time, I guess. Now, something outside of your control is the actual capacity of the battery itself, because normally the manufacturers kind of dictate that. Larger capacity batteries will tend to last longer than smaller capacity ones. And what's up with that is there is less energy stored in a lower capacity battery, and that has a few impacts on your battery's life. It's kind of like if you have two farmers on either end of a road, and one has a well with a much bigger well underneath the ground, and then the other one has a much smaller well. They could both take out a bucket every single day, but one is going to run dry a lot faster. With the bigger battery, batteries have a certain point of no return where you can't salvage. Larger capacities can not only take a lot more beating, but they can take a lot more beating and still come back to their old self again. Smaller capacity batteries will just kick the bucket much sooner, especially if they're neglected. Here's something that is totally within your control, which is how you actually maintain your motorcycle battery. This is by far like the most important thing I'm gonna kind of tell you about here. The most important thing is keeping your motorcycle battery charged up. My US has lasted me 8 years because every time I'm not taking it out, I just get in the garage and I plug it into my trickle charger. And that's the secret, guys. That's it. You buy a quality battery, you keep it charged up. It's kind of like using your credit card. If you're always using your credit card and you're always owing on it, your credit score is always going down. But if you're paying it off right away every time you use it or at the end of every week, your credit score is going to be really, really good. Now replace credit score with battery longevity and it's the same thing. And I also want to say that just like there is a problem with undercharging or just straight up neglecting your motorcycle battery, there's also a problem with overcharging. So car chargers will typically charge at 5 amps. Motorcycle battery chargers will typically charge around like 1 to 2 amps tops. If you mix this up, you will fry that battery. Just want to make sure you know that. Likewise, you cannot use a lead acid battery charger on a lithium battery or a lithium charger on a lead acid battery. Things are meant to work differently. So just make sure that whatever you got, you are using it properly. Most batteries will tell you right on the front or on the sides what speed to charge it at. You'll notice that this random one from Amazon doesn't tell you that. But every Yuasa and anti-gravity battery I've looked at has. So what does that tell us about standards? Crazy. Last but not least, this is outside your control, is the type, actually kind of inside your control too, the kind of battery you use. Speaking of lithium, there are 3 main reasons why you might want to use a lithium battery over lead acid. And I know there's more than 2 types, but I'm going to try and keep this short for you guys. 3 most common reasons where lithium might last you longer, because that's the topic of our video, is higher energy density. So you can cram more energy into this battery. We already know that more energy, deeper well, more good. Second reason is a lower self-discharge rate. So if we were talking about that same example of the well and we're taking a bucket of water out every day from a lead acid battery, well, maybe with a lithium battery, it's actually only half a bucket of water that we need to take out. The discharge rate is much slower. And the last thing is you get a lot more use life cycles out of this battery. So let's say, I don't know, I can use my Yuasa battery again, whatever, 1,000 times. Well, maybe this one I can use 1,250 times before it's no longer usable. You get more life cycles out of a lithium battery. If it's a good lithium battery, has yet to be seen. Now, I already have a ton of motorcycle battery content on YouTube because, like I said at the start of the video, I'm a bit of a motorcycle battery nerd. So I have like a video showing you how to step by step, it's only like 4 steps, easily set up a brand new motorcycle battery to get maximum longevity out of it and maximum performance out of it. I also have a video that will show you step by step how to test a motorcycle battery to see if you even need to replace it or if you can just get away with just recharging it. Again, all my stuff is geared at trying to save you guys as much money as I can, trying to help you out as much as I can. That video also shows you how to test your charging system because you don't want to spend money replacing batteries over and over again just to find out later, oh, my regulator rectifier is shot and that's why my charging system isn't working and that's why my batteries keep dying. But make sure your bike itself is also in good health. And if you like my toys, please do me a favor, hit the like button. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to do me a solid, and you guys leaving comments helps my videos do so much better, which helps me make more videos, which helps me help more riders out. Thank you, ride safe, peace.